Hello my friends, welcome back to our kids church videos. I'm so glad that you can join us again for another week of singing and a story and some crafting fun. Today is Holy Humor Sunday, so we are going to have lots of jokes to share and lots of laughter to share. And I hope that you will be able to have some good fun with this. A shout out to all those who have shared their crafts in the past weeks with us already. So Lily and Abigail and Ben and Nikki, we've loved seeing the things that you've created. And anybody else that wants to share what they do at the end of these videos, we would love to see that kind of stuff. Especially this week because we are going to be sharing some pretty cool jokes and I would love to hear your jokes. But to start, we've got a song that's going to get you up and moving. So this song is called I've Got the Joy, Joy, Joy. It might be a familiar song to some of you. And I'd invite you to get up, get ready to move, sing along. I've brought my ukulele this week and I'm not very good at the ukulele. So that's going to be part of our holy humor this week is me trying to play the song on a different instrument that I'm not very familiar with. But we'll have some fun with it anyhow. So here we go. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. And we just sing that over again and then there's a few more words. But here we go. Let's have some fun. And you know what? You can create all kinds of different verses for that song. So we did joy and we did love, but what else do you have down in your heart that you can sing about and dance about today with Holy Humor Sunday? I'd love to hear you. And our story today is about Abraham and Sarah. And if you would like to play along, some of the main characters that we need to have to play today. Eli, who are some of the main characters?
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Isaac.
Isaac, a baby. Sarah's husband's name is Abraham. And then we're going to have...
the goat.
We have a goat, and we're going to have 3 visitors. And then you can put anything you want in sort of the play area, right? So you could do that with stuffies or Lego or puppets. Today we're using Playmobil. Eli, I have a question for you.
What?
Do you know what your name means?
No, not really.
Not really. Your name means, your full name is Elias, and that's a similar name to Elijah. And the name Elijah means the Lord is my God. That's what your name means. How about that? Do you know what my name means?
No.
No? So my name has a meaning too. The name Jennifer means fair lady. Do you think that's very applicable?
No.
Maybe the fairness because I'm blonde. I don't know about the lady part. But all of our names have meanings. And so today we're going to hear a story about a child who gets a very special name. So the story is about Abraham and Sarah. who had a really strong relationship with God. They really trusted God, and they did their very best to follow what they believed God wanted them to do. And in return, they believed that God promised that they would have as many descendants as the stars. That's a lot of descendants, don't you think, Eli? Anyhow, to date, they had no children, and they were getting older. And they were getting to the point where maybe they thought they were running out of time to have children. In fact, some would have said maybe they were well out of time, well past the time that they would have children. But God had made a promise, and if there's one thing that we know about God's promises, it's that God follows through, but sometimes not in the way that we expect, and sometimes not in the time that we expect. And so that is how this story begins. So, one day, Abraham and Sarah were hanging out by their tent when Abraham spotted 3 strangers coming across the desert towards them. He went out to greet them warmly, and then he sent Sarah to go prepare them some food and some drink because it had been a long journey and it was hot out. So Sarah went off to get the strangers some food and some drink and to welcome them, to make them feel as though they were friends. Now, while she was there preparing that food for them, the 4 strangers and Abraham gathered around the fire, and they were having a conversation. And from around the corner, Sarah overheard them talking, and the strangers telling Abraham how Sarah was going to have a baby. And she laughed. She laughed and she laughed because she knew that she was really old and that her time to have a baby was long gone. The strangers wondered why she was laughing. Sarah came and joined the circle, and they shared a meal together. And then the strangers went on their way. But not long after the visitors had left, Sarah discovered that she was expecting a baby. And when that baby was born, they named the baby Isaac. Isaac, which means laughter. And sure enough, as God had promised, from there Abraham and Sarah's family grew and grew and had as many descendants as there are stars in the sky. I wonder what we might learn from Abraham and Sarah and their waiting and their patience. I wonder too why Sarah called her baby Laughter after all of that time. Many of our names have special meanings. We heard about Eli's name and my name. I wonder what special meaning your name has. Our craft today are to make these joke origami animals. Now, I know these as cootie catchers. What do you guys call these things?
Cootie catchers.
Cootie catchers. We all know these as cootie catchers. So we're going to make these animal cootie catchers out of paper. Oh, there goes Mr. Shark. And on the inside, when you open them up, they're filled with jokes that you can tell to one another. So to start, we're going to start by just making the basic form. And while you guys do this, I want you to think about what kind of animal you might want to make. So we have already an owl here and a shark. And Eli, what animal do you want to make?
Meerkat.
You're going to make a meerkat, and Maudlin?
Shark.
Maudlin is going to make another shark. So to start, we need to start with, I'm going to try and make a unicorn. We'll see how that works. To start, you want to get a square piece of paper. Now this is just a normal piece of paper that we cut the edge off of. I'm going to use a white one, Maudlin, we have a blue one for you for the shark, because you're going to try and do that with a blue sheet. Eli, you wanted to do a meerkat, so we have a brown background for your meerkat. So let's start with the folding process, because that is going to take some time. We're going to take the edge, one of the flat edges, and we're going to fold it up to meet the other flat edge at the top. Eli, you're going to do this with us?
Yeah.
There we go. Like so. So one flat edge meets the other flat edge. Very good. Then we're going to unfold it, turn it a quarter turn, and do the same thing in the other direction. One flat edge meets the other flat edge. Fold it nice and tight corners and unfold it. You've got it right. Eli already knows what he's doing, so he's going right ahead. Now you're going to take a corner and you're going to bring it right into the middle so it matches the lines in the middle. The corner matches the corner lines that your first fold's made. And you'll do that all the way around. So you're going to get 4 folds. All 4 corners are going to be folded into the middle. Make sure that your edges are nice and sharp. That always makes it easier as you start folding if your edges and corners are sharp. So I now have all 4 corners are folded into the center. Now Eli has already jumped ahead. You're going to take that where your loose corners are, turn that down towards the table. And now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to take the corners, bring them up into the middle, and fold. So you've now got the smooth side of the paper facing up, and we're going to take the corners and fold them into the middle. And there we go. When we've got all 4 of them, Eli, awesome, that was really fast. We got all 4 of them. Okay, so I've got all 4 of them done. Now I've got on the back side, I have these 4 flaps. On the front side, I have the corners. I'm going to bend mine, so my 4 flaps are on the outside. This just helps me to get room for my fingers to go in there. So your thumbs and finger are going to go in the slot that's on the back side. And we're going to do that on the other one and move it together. There we go. So that is our cootie catcher. That is your basic form, and all of your animals are going to start with that. Now comes the fun and creative part where we get to be individuals. You're going to unfold that again, and we're going to put the side that has the flaps that your fingers go into. We're going to put that on the table in front of us. This is the part that we're going to decorate to look like our animals. Now, I've got a diagram here that you can look at. This has the basic places where you want to put everything in order to create your own animal. So every animal's eyes are going to go in the same place. Every animal's nose is going to go in the same place. If they've got arms, they go in the same place, or fins. So use this diagram to figure out where your animal pieces are going to fit to put your animal together. I'll give you a few minutes to have a look at that while we sort out how we're going to do ours. So the next step, once you know what your animal is going to be, is to collect all the pieces of that animal. Now there's 2 ways to put your eyes and things onto your animal. You could use markers and draw them on, or you could use scrap pieces of paper to cut them out and then glue them on. So you'll see that we're using some of the old paper that we had from a couple weeks ago when we made our palm parade palm branches. Maudlin has already started. She is coloring in some eyes that she's going to cut out and then glue on. And so we're going to get started on that too. So we're going to get some eyes ready, some paws ready for Eli, and some ears. Is that right, Eli?
Yeah.
We're going to get all of those ready, and once we have them all cut and ready to go, we'll show you how we put them together. cut out all the things that we need for our animals. So Eli, do you want to show us what you have? You have 2 paws and 2 feet paws, excellent, and a tail. And for my unicorn, I have the unicorn, and I have a tail, and then I have 2 paws, or 2 hooves, and 2 ears. And we're now going to follow our diagram to figure out where these get glued on. So this is a bit of a process, but we're still working at it. Maudlin is now cutting out teeth for her shark that she's going to glue on the inside of the mouth, because this is her shark. And you can see we now have the eyes glued on and the mouth, and she's going to add some fins. Eli has added some paws, so he's glued them to the back and then folded them around. And here I've got my unicorn put together. We've got some hooves down at the bottom and the tail, the unicorn and his ears. And you'll see when we unfold it, it looks like they're all in weird spots, but when we fold him this way, there's my unicorn. So now the fun part is to find some jokes to put on the inside. So what we did is, for my owl, we Googled owl jokes. So my owl is all full of owl jokes. And Maudlin has been finding shark jokes to put in our shark. And I'll be more curious to find out if there are any meerkat jokes. Anyhow, while we finish up with our joke cootie catchers, I wish you a lot of luck making yours. I hope that you have some creative fun with this. I'm really curious about what animals you have chosen to make out of your cootie catcher, and I would love to hear one of your jokes. So if you make a cootie catcher and you've got some great jokes, share them with us. We would love to hear them. And before we go, we'll leave you with one joke from our owl cootie catcher. What type of books do owls like to read? What do you guys think? What type of books do owls like to read?
Wise books.
Wise books. Oh, that's a good one. What do you think, Maudlin? An owlary. Well, this owl likes to read whodunits. How about that? See you later, my friends. Until next week, have lots of fun, share lots of laughter, share lots of jokes. There is so much joy to go around, even in difficult times, and it is so wonderful to be able to just let go and laugh. See you later. Bye. Stop. That one.
What do you get when you cross money with a meerkat?
I don't know. What do you get when you cross money with a meerkat?
A cash meerkat.
Oh no! Alright, Eli, tell me when to stop. Oh, I gotta do 2 hands.
Stop.
Okay. Which one would you like? This one?
Yep.
Okay. Why do unicorns like silly jokes? Because they're unicorny.
Oh.
Hey, Daddy, tell me when to stop. Stop. Which one would you like? Upper right, please. Oh, there's a joke there. What do you get when you cross a shark with a snowman?
Laceration?
No, frostbite.
Ah.